I read my wife's credit card statement at 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday in June 2020, still wearing my scrubs that smelled like bleach and death, and realized that while I'd spent the last 3 months trying to keep strangers alive, she'd been at the Marriott downtown with her ex-boyfriend from college, charging room service to our joint account. If you've got about half an hour and maybe some coffee, settle in. This is the story of how my wife cheated during the worst time of my life and how I made sure she lost everything because of it. It's not a feel-good story, but it's true, and maybe that's worth more. So why did I stay silent for 4 months after I found out? Because I wasn't going to just yell and cry and let her twist it into being my fault. I was going to collect every piece of evidence, line up every witness, and when the time was right, I was going to show her entire family, her very religious, very judgmental family, exactly who she really was. Not on some random Tuesday, on Thanksgiving, in front of everyone. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to the beginning, back when I still thought my marriage was solid and the only thing I had to worry about was keeping people alive during a pandemic. My name's Robert. I'm 38, been an ER nurse for 12 years, 5 of those in the Charleston Regional Medical Center Emergency Department. Met my wife Jennifer when I was 28, married her at 29. 10 years of what I thought was a pretty good marriage. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. A 2-bedroom house in the suburbs we bought in 2016. Jennifer worked in marketing at a regional advertising firm. I worked my 3 or 4 12-hour shifts a week at the hospital. We did Sunday dinners with her family, went to church sometimes, more her than me, but I didn't mind. We talked about having kids. Maybe 2020 would be the year. Then March happened. COVID hit Charleston like it hit everywhere else. One day we're living normal lives. Next day everything's locked down. Jennifer got furloughed immediately. Her firm slashed all the ad budgets, and she was home full time. Me? My schedule exploded. The ER went from busy to absolute chaos in about 48 hours. Suddenly, I'm working 60, then 80-hour weeks. Double shifts, night shifts, sleeping at the hospital because I was too exhausted to drive home. And when I did come home, I'd strip in the garage, shower for 30 minutes, terrified I'd bring the virus back to Jennifer. Those first few weeks of the pandemic were hell. We didn't have enough PPE. We didn't have enough ventilators. We had patients dying faster than we could process the paperwork. I held a guy's iPad once so he could FaceTime his family to say goodbye because they weren't allowed in the building. He was 34, my age. His wife and 2 kids on the screen crying, begging me to save him. He died 20 minutes later. That kind of thing stays with you. I'd come home at 2, 3 in the morning and Jennifer would be asleep. Or at least I thought she was asleep. She'd leave me food in the microwave sometimes, text me encouraging messages. "You're a hero," she'd say. "I'm so proud of you." Looking back, I wonder if she felt guilty even then. Probably not. She was too busy planning her next hotel visit, but I didn't know that yet. Back in March and April, I thought we were in it together. I thought she was handling the lockdown okay, staying home, doing her Zoom yoga classes, whatever. I was just trying to survive my shifts and not bring a deadly virus home to my wife. The cracks started small. I'd notice her on her phone more, laughing at texts, then quickly putting it away when I walked in. She started dressing nicer even though she wasn't going anywhere. "Just trying to feel normal," she'd say. Our sex life dropped off completely, but she blamed COVID anxiety. "I'm too stressed," she said. "I was too exhausted to push it." There was this one fight I remember. April 15th, our 10th wedding anniversary. I had planned to take the day off, make dinner, do something special. Then the hospital got slammed with a surge and I got called in for a double shift. I texted her from work, "I'm so sorry. I can't get out of this. I'll make it up to you, I promise." She called me crying. "You're never here anymore, Robert. I'm alone in this house 24 hours a day. I needed this one day." I felt like garbage. I know, I'm sorry. People are dying, Jen. I have to be here. She hung up on me. When I got home the next morning, she was cold, distant, told me it was fine, but it clearly wasn't. I thought she was just hurt about the anniversary. I didn't realize she was already texting Marcus at that point, already planning their first hotel meetup. April turned into May, and I started noticing little things that didn't quite add up. Her car had more miles on it than it should for someone in lockdown. I just drive around to get out of the house, she said. Made sense, I guess. A lot of people were going stir crazy. Then I found new lingerie in the laundry. Nice stuff, Lacey. Expensive. I bought it before COVID, she told me. Just trying to feel sexy. We never used it. Her phone had a passcode now. Never had one before. I read an article about security, she said. Her phone would buzz late at night while I was trying to sleep between shifts. I'd hear her texting in the dark. One night in May, I came home at 2 a.m. after a brutal 16-hour shift. 3 patients had died. One of them was 34, same age as me, same as that first guy. I was wrecked. I walked into the kitchen and Jennifer's phone was on the counter, lit up with a text. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, with a heart emoji. Contact name, M. Yoga Buddy. I just stared at it. Jennifer appeared in the doorway, grabbed her phone quickly. That's just Michelle, my yoga friend. We're doing a virtual class tomorrow. I nodded, too tired to question it, went to shower. But something in my gut shifted that night. I should have asked more questions. I didn't. I told myself I was being paranoid, that I was just traumatized from work and seeing problems where there weren't any. That was late May. By early June, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I started paying real attention. Her schedule didn't line up. I worked Monday and Tuesday nights, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts. When I'd leave for work, her car would be there. When I'd get home at 8 a.m., her car would still be there, but the engine would be warm. I went to get coffee, she'd say. But the coffee shops weren't open at 6 a.m. during COVID. Then came June 16th, the day everything broke open. I got home from a night shift at 3 a.m., couldn't sleep, still wired from the trauma of it all, that constant adrenaline you run on in the ER. I opened my laptop to pay bills, and Jennifer's credit card statement was still open. She'd forgotten to close it. I scrolled through it just to check our spending, make sure we were okay financially. And then I saw them. Marriott Charleston downtown, $187. May 12th, Hampton Inn North, $156 worse. May the 19th, Holiday Inn Express, $142. May 26th, 3 different hotels, 3 different Tuesday nights. My night shift nights, my stomach dropped, my hands started shaking. I kept scrolling. Dinner for 2 at Vicolo Italian restaurant near the Marriott, $78. Wine purchase, $54. Drugstore the same day as one of the hotels, $23. I clicked on that one. Condoms. She wasn't at home during my night shifts. She was at hotels with someone. I sat there until 6 a.m. staring at that statement. Jennifer's phone buzzed on the counter. The screen lit up. M was texting again. Last night was perfect. Can't wait for next week. Miss you already. M wasn't Michelle from yoga class. M was a man. Jennifer came downstairs at 6:30. I was still sitting at the kitchen table with the credit card statement printed out in front of me. She saw my face, saw the paper, and went white. Can you explain these hotel charges? I asked. My voice was calm. Too calm. She stammered. Those must be mistakes. Identity theft? 3 different hotels on 3 different nights I worked. Identity theft knows my schedule? She started crying. You're being paranoid. COVID has made you crazy, Robert. You're seeing things that aren't there. Who's M? Her face changed. Panic. My yoga friend Michelle. I told you. Show me your phone. She clutched it to her chest. You don't trust me. After 10 years, you don't trust me. I just looked at her. If there's nothing to hide, show me your phone. She went on the offensive instead. You're never home. I'm lonely. You care more about strangers in that hospital than you do about me. I'm literally saving lives during a pandemic. And I'm here alone. You don't even touch me anymore. You don't talk to me. You just come home and pass out. Notice how she wasn't denying the hotels, just deflecting, blaming me. So you're saying you stayed at hotels because you were lonely? She was crying harder now. Fine, yes, I stayed at hotels a few times because I needed space. Being alone in this house was making me depressed. I just needed to feel like I was somewhere else. Is that a crime? Alone? You stayed at those hotels alone? Yes, alone. Jesus, Robert, you think I'm cheating on you? During COVID? I'm terrified of getting sick. She was good. I'll give her that. The tears, the indignation, the hurt. She almost had me believing her. Almost. But I knew she was lying. The texts, the timing, the way she clutched that phone like her life depended on it. I went to work that day, Wednesday, June 17th, on zero sleep. I looked like hell. One of my colleagues, Sarah, pulled me aside during a break. You okay? You look worse than usual, and that's saying something. I broke. I think my wife is cheating on me. Sarah's face got serious. Do you know for sure? Not 100%, but yeah, pretty sure. Then you need to know for sure, she said. Don't blow up your life on a hunch, but don't be a fool either. If she's doing this to you while you're risking your life out here, she deserves whatever's coming. I made a decision that day. I wasn't going to confront Jennifer again. Not yet. I was going to investigate quietly. If I was wrong, I'd get us into therapy, work it out. But if I was right, I was going to burn her whole world down. I started that night, bought a small notebook from CVS on my way home from the hospital, wrote Evidence June 2020s at the top in black pen, felt sick doing it, like I was admitting my marriage was a crime scene that needed documenting. But that's exactly what it was. The Robert who came home to a loving wife in March was dead. He died somewhere between the ICU and a Marriott hotel room. The man who bought that notebook was someone else, someone colder, more calculating, someone who understood that nice guys don't win, smart guys do. That was when I stopped being her husband and started being a detective. Turns out I was good at it. I had certain advantages. I worked irregular hours, which meant I had random days off during the week when Jennifer thought I was at the hospital. I knew her passwords to most things because we'd been married 10 years and never thought we needed secrets. And she was careless, comfortable. She thought she was getting away with it, so she wasn't being as careful as she should have been. Jennifer kept her laptop logged into iCloud. She probably forgot or didn't think I'd check. Why would she? I was the trusting husband, the guy who worked 80-hour weeks and never questioned anything. I spent my days off, the few I had, going through everything. Deleted messages, cloud save photos, email drafts, purchase history, browser history. Turns out deleted texts autosave to the laptop if you don't turn that feature off. And there they were. Months of messages with Marcus. It started innocent enough in April. Hey Jen, crazy times, hope you're staying safe. Thought about you when lockdown started. Then it escalated. Late April. It was so good to hear your voice today. I forgot how much I missed talking to you. By May, they'd gone from texting to meeting up. The messages got explicit. Can't believe we waited this long. Best decision we ever made. I love you. I sat there reading months of messages where she told this guy things she never told me. That Robert was never home anyway. That she made a mistake marrying him. That she never stopped loving Marcus. I Googled him. Marcus Henderson, 37, pharmaceutical sales, lives in Colombia, about 2 hours away. Jennifer's college boyfriend. They dated for 3 years, broke up when Jennifer took a job in Charleston. She met me 2 years later. Apparently, Marcus got divorced in 2019 and reached out to Jennifer during lockdown to check on an old friend. That's how these things always start, right? Innocent. Until they're not. I found photos. Jennifer had them saved to the cloud, probably forgot to delete them. Selfies in hotel rooms, dates at restaurants, intimate photos I'm not going to describe. The dates matched exactly to my night shifts. She'd planned this around my schedule. And that lingerie I'd found? She was wearing it in one of the hotel room photos. The lingerie she said was for us, was for him. The worst part? She looked happy in those photos. Happier than I'd seen her in our anniversary pictures. But the thing that really broke me was a voice memo I found, dated May 27th. Jennifer recorded it for herself like a diary entry. Her voice, "I know this is wrong. I know Robert doesn't deserve this. He's a good man. He's saving lives, and I'm doing this to him. But I can't help it. Marcus makes me feel alive. Robert makes me feel like a nurse, not a wife. I'm not strong enough to end it with either of them. I'm just going to keep doing this until I don't know. God forgive me." I listened to that 3 times. She knew it was wrong. She wasn't confused. She wasn't lonely. She was making a choice every single time. June 30th, I worked a night shift. Had to bag a patient who died of COVID. 42-year-old father of 3. Died alone because his family couldn't be there. They were on FaceTime, screaming, begging me to save him. I couldn't. I barely kept it together through the rest of my shift. I sat in my car in the hospital parking lot at 7 a.m. and sobbed. First time I'd really cried since all this started. I couldn't breathe. Full panic attack right there in my scrubs. I realized something in that moment. While I was risking my life for strangers, holding dying patients' hands, watching families fall apart on video screens, my wife was at the Marriott with her ex-boyfriend, telling him she never loved me. While I was saving lives, she was ending ours. I almost drove home and confronted her right then. Almost went in there and screamed and threw her out. But something stopped me. A cold clarity cut through the grief. Jennifer's family, her conservative Christian family who thought she was the perfect daughter, her church community where she served on the hospitality committee. Everyone who knew her as the devoted wife married to the heroic ER nurse. If I just yelled at her, she'd cry. She'd play victim. She'd say I drove her to it because I was never home. She'd make this about my failures as a husband, not her choice to cheat. I wasn't going to give her that out. I texted Sarah from the hospital. "You were right. I need your help documenting something. Can you write a statement about my schedule and what we've been through here? I'll explain later." She replied immediately, "Of course, whatever you need." I drove home. Jennifer was asleep. I looked at her, this woman I'd loved for 10 years, built a life with, protected, provided for. She was a stranger. I whispered, "You have no idea what's coming." I went to the spare bedroom, lay down in my scrubs, set an alarm. And for the first time in weeks, I didn't dream about the hospital. I dreamed about Thanksgiving. I spent July through November planning. 5 months of living with a woman who thought she was getting away with it while I documented every single thing. I screenshotted everything. Texts, photos, hotel receipts, credit card statements, backed it all up to an external drive I kept in my locker at the hospital. Created a timeline document with dates, locations, dollar amounts. It was airtight. I asked hospital colleagues to write witness statements. Sarah wrote a detailed account of my 80-hour weeks, of sleeping at the hospital, of the trauma we dealt with daily in the COVID ward. Dr. Patel, one of our ER attendings, wrote about how I was an essential worker in the truest sense, risking my life, never complaining. I got 5 statements total, had them notarized through our hospital administrator. Why? Because when Jennifer's family heard Robert was never home, I wanted proof of why and what I was doing. I consulted a divorce attorney in August. Free initial consultation. Found out South Carolina is an at-fault state, meaning adultery actually matters for alimony and asset division. The attorney told me, document everything. Don't confront until you're ready to file. Element of surprise is crucial. I opened a separate bank account, started moving my paychecks there, kept just enough in the joint account to avoid suspicion. met with a financial advisor to protect my 401k. Documented that the down payment on our house came from my inheritance. The whole time, Jennifer had no idea. She thought everything was fine. She even talked about trying for a baby in 2021 when COVID calmed down. I'd nod and say, "Let's see," while internally screaming. The affair continued. She saw Marcus twice a month during my night shifts. By fall, COVID had gotten slightly better at the hospital. I was down to 50-hour weeks instead of 80. I started sleeping more, eating more. Lost 15 pounds during those months, developed insomnia. Saw the hospital therapist for COVID trauma, which was real, but I couldn't mention the marriage stuff. October 15th, I recorded a video testimonial, sat in front of my laptop in my scrubs and talked about 8 months in the COVID ward, the patients I'd lost, the exhaustion, the fear of bringing the virus home. I ended with, I would come home at dawn, strip in the garage, shower for 30 minutes, terrified I'd infect my wife. I loved her so much I was willing to sleep in a separate room for months just to keep her safe. That's what sacrifice looks like. That's what love looks like. At least that's what I thought. That video was going to be my opening move. Establish my heroism, then show the contrast. Jennifer's family did a big Zoom Thanksgiving every year. The pandemic made it mandatory in 2020. 32 people on one call, her parents, siblings, their kids, cousins, aunts, uncles. Very religious family. Grace before meals, Bible verses, conservative values. And adultery? Gravest sin there is. I knew losing her family would destroy Jennifer more than losing me. So that was my target. Thanksgiving. Maximum audience, maximum impact. I contacted their pastor in early November, scheduled a private meeting, brought my evidence. Pastor William was devastated. Jennifer seems so devoted, and you're a hero. Should I handle this privately? I asked, or does the church need to know? He looked troubled. Adultery is a serious matter. There are processes for church discipline, but I'll leave the timing to you. Perfect. After the family exposure, I'd inform church leadership, public accountability. The week before Thanksgiving, I prepared my files. Robert's testimony at Move, the video. Evidence folder, screenshots organized by date. Colleague statements PDF, the 5 witness statements. Financial records PDF. Bank statements showing she'd spent $2,400 on the affair from our joint account. I tested the screen share function multiple times. Had to be perfect. November 25th, the night before Thanksgiving, I came home from a day shift. Jennifer was cooking, happy, talking about how 2021 was going to be better, how maybe we'd take a vacation when COVID ended, buy a bigger house. I barely spoke. She asked if I was okay. Just tired from work, I said. That night, I lay awake in the spare bedroom. Tomorrow, I was going to detonate her life. I felt sick, excited, terrified, righteous. I thought, tomorrow, I stop saving her life and start saving mine. Thanksgiving morning, November 26th, 2020, I woke up at 6 a.m., got dressed, made coffee. Jennifer was still asleep. I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop, opened the evidence folder one last time, made sure everything was ready. Sarah texted me, "Thinking of you today. You're doing the right thing. She doesn't deserve you." I texted back, "Thanks. See you at work tomorrow. Today I burn it all down." At noon, I woke Jennifer. "Happy Thanksgiving, honey. Your family's Zoom is at 2 p.m., right?" She smiled, sleepy. "Yeah. You're joining this year? Wouldn't miss it for the world." I meant it. This was going to be a Thanksgiving she'd never forget. We set up at the kitchen table at 1:55 p.m., laptop between us. Jennifer looked nice. She'd done her hair, put on makeup. "Want to look good for the family," she said. The Zoom connected at 2 seconds. 32 faces appeared on screen. Jennifer's parents, Tom and Linda, her brother Mark and his wife, her sister Amy with her husband and kids, cousins, aunts, uncles, everyone. Tom led the call. Let's go around and say what we're grateful for. Everyone took turns. Family, health, making it through COVID. Several people mentioned me specifically. Grateful for essential workers like Robert. Jennifer's turn. She squeezed my hand. I'm grateful for my husband Robert, who's been a hero this year. I'm so proud of him. I didn't squeeze back. My turn. I'm grateful for truth, and I'm about to share something true. Jennifer looked confused but not alarmed yet. Before we eat, I said, I wanted to share a video I made about my experience this year, just a few minutes. The family seemed pleased. Of course. We'd love to see it. I clicked share screen and played my testimonial video. They watched me in my scrubs, describing the COVID ward, the deaths, the fear, the exhaustion, coming home terrified of infecting Jennifer. I loved her so much I was willing to risk everything to keep her safe. The family was crying by the end. God bless you, Robert. You're a hero. Jennifer was smiling, proud, still didn't see it coming. I paused, let the silence sit for a moment, then I changed my tone. Calm, cold, clinical. Thank you, but there's something else I need to share with this family. Something that's been happening for the last 8 months. While I was working those 80-hour weeks in the COVID ward, while I was holding dying patients' hands, while I was coming home terrified I might infect my wife, Jennifer was having an affair. The Zoom went completely silent. You could see it happening on their faces. Confusion, then shock, then disbelief. 32 faces frozen in various stages of processing what I'd just said. Jennifer's face drained of all color. She whispered, Robert, no, don't do this. Her mom, Linda's mouth opened and closed. What? That's not... Robert, what are you saying? This has to be a mistake. Her dad. Tom's face was already going red. Explain yourself, Robert, right now. I'm saying that from April through November of this year, 8 months, Jennifer has been carrying on a sexual relationship with her ex-boyfriend, Marcus Henderson, the same Marcus she dated in college, the one she told me she was completely over 10 years ago. Let me show you the evidence. Jennifer stood up, tried to close the laptop. Robert, please, we can talk about this. I held the laptop. Sit down, Jennifer. They deserve to know who you really are. I opened the evidence folder, showed them everything. Credit card statements, 3 hotels, 8 different visits, $20,400 total. Text messages, I kept it PG-13 for the family, but showed enough that the meaning was clear. Hotel selfies. The timeline showing every visit matched my night shifts. May 12th, Marriott, I narrated. I worked 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. She checked in at 10 p.m. May 19th, Hampton Inn. I worked nights again. I went through all of it, methodically, calmly. Then I played Jennifer's voice memo, her confession from May 27th. I know Robert doesn't deserve this, but Marcus makes me feel alive. I'm not strong enough to end it. Her own voice, confessing to everyone. Jennifer was sobbing now. Robert, please, please stop. Why? I asked. You didn't stop when I was begging patients not to die. You didn't stop when I came home exhausted. You didn't stop when you used our money to pay for hotels. Her dad, Tom's face was red, voice shaking. Jennifer, Marie, is this true? She couldn't speak, just nodded through tears. Get out of my sight, Tom said. I can't even look at you. Her mom, Linda, was crying. How could you? While he was saving lives. What kind of person... Her brother, Mark. You're dead to me. I can't believe we share blood. Her sister, Amy. My kids look up to you. I told them you were a good person. You're disgusting. The whole family piled on, unmuting to condemn her, using words I won't repeat. Jennifer ran from the room. Couldn't handle it. I stayed on camera. I'm sorry to do this on Thanksgiving, I said, but Jennifer cared more about her image in this family than anything else. I wanted you to know who she really is. I screen shared the divorce papers. I filed this morning. South Carolina is an at-fault state. Evidence of adultery means she gets nothing. The house, down payment was my inheritance. Joint savings, mostly my earnings. She'll get her car and personal belongings. That's it. She can move out by December 1st. I paused. I've also provided this evidence to Pastor William at Grace Community Church. Jennifer will face church discipline. More reactions, some supportive of me, some uncomfortable but silent. I looked at the camera. For 8 months, while I was saving lives, she was ending ours. I risked everything for strangers. She risked everything for an ex-boyfriend. The difference is, I was trying to bring people home. She was throwing ours away. I'm done saving her. I'm done protecting her image. You all deserve to know the truth. I closed the laptop. Call still running with the family in chaos. Jennifer was in the bedroom, hyperventilating, sobbing. I didn't go to her. For the first time in 10 years, her pain wasn't my problem. My phone started blowing up. Text from family members. Tom, I'm so sorry. Robert, you deserved better. We're heartbroken. Amy, thank you for telling us. We never would have known. Several cousins sent supportive messages. I could hear Jennifer's phone buzzing in the bedroom. Different tone, angry messages. I packed a bag, left for a hotel. The irony wasn't lost on me. Before I left, I wrote a note. You have until December 1st to move out. Don't contact me except through attorneys. Goodbye, Jennifer. I checked into a Holiday Inn near the hospital at 4 p.m. on Thanksgiving. Cheaper than her Marriott's. Lobby was empty except for a clerk watching football. I sat on the hotel bed and just existed. Didn't cry, didn't celebrate, just sat there. Sarah texted, I saw your divorce filing update on public records. You did it. How are you? I typed back, I'm at a hotel on Thanksgiving, but for the first time since June, I'm not lying, so I'm okay. I should have felt victorious. Instead, I just felt empty. But empty was better than broken. The next few weeks were brutal for both of us. I heard through mutual friends that Jennifer had a complete breakdown after the Zoom ended. Panic attack so severe, her sister called 911. Paramedics came but didn't transport. Told her to see a doctor. Her parents refused to speak to her. Tom told her, don't come home. Don't call. We need time. Her siblings blocked her on everything. Mark told us a mutual friend, she's dead to us. Jennifer tried calling me. 47 calls in 48 hours, 83 texts. I blocked her number. One voicemail got through before I blocked her. Robert, please, I'm sorry. I can't breathe. I don't know what to do. Please don't do this to me. I listened once, felt a twinge of guilt. Then I remembered her voice memo. I'm not strong enough to end it. She could have stopped. She didn't. The church was worse for Jennifer, much worse. Pastor William called me 3 days after Thanksgiving. I met with Jennifer and the elders yesterday. It was difficult. She confessed? Everything. She broke down completely. The elders were shocked. Jennifer's been such a visible member of our community. What happens now? Church discipline. He said, we're removing her from all leadership positions, including the hospitality committee. We're asking her not to attend services for 90 days. It's called a restoration period, time for repentance and counseling. 90 days, 3 months of exile from the community that had been her whole identity. How did she take it? Pastor Williams sighed. She asked if there was any way to keep it private. I told her that wasn't possible. In a church of 400 people, when someone in leadership falls into serious sin, it becomes known. That's part of the consequence. Part of the accountability. Within 24 hours, everyone in Grace Community Church knew. Small churches are like that. The prayer chain became the gossip chain. Jennifer's affair was the talk of every small group, every post-service coffee hour. I kept attending church. I'd moved back in with my parents temporarily. Couldn't stand being in that empty house yet. That first Sunday after Thanksgiving, I walked in nervous. Didn't know how people would react to me. The reaction was overwhelming. People hugged me, thanked me for my service during COVID, told me they were praying for me. When the pastor mentioned our faithful brother Robert, who served with such dedication during the pandemic, the entire congregation stood and applauded. I stood there stunned while 400 people clapped for me. It felt good, I won't lie. After months of feeling betrayed and invisible, being seen as the hero felt validating. But it also felt weird, like my pain was being weaponized into social capital. Jennifer stopped going to church entirely after that first meeting with the elders. Couldn't face the judgment. Couldn't handle being the cautionary tale in every sermon about faithfulness. One of her former hospitality committee members told me Jennifer had called her, begging to meet for coffee. I couldn't, the woman said. My husband said I needed to have clear boundaries. Supporting someone in unrepentant sin is enabling them. Jennifer wasn't welcome at church, wasn't welcome in her family. Her whole world had collapsed. But some people started whispering. Did Robert have to do it so publicly on Thanksgiving? One elderly woman, Mrs. Patterson, pulled me aside. You did what you had to do, but be careful that revenge doesn't poison you too. Her words stuck with me. Marcus, the affair partner, also paid a price. I sent the evidence to his employer, a pharmaceutical company. They fired him. Conduct unbecoming, especially during a pandemic when healthcare relationships mattered. His own family, conservative Christians like Jennifer's, disowned him when they found out he'd helped a married woman cheat on a COVID nurse. Marcus moved to Texas. Starting over, he told people. Jennifer tried contacting him afterward. He wouldn't respond. Apparently, he blamed her for ruining his life. The irony was thick. Marcus thought he was getting Jennifer back. Ended up with nothing. By early December, Jennifer had moved out, staying with one of her 2 remaining friends, sleeping on an air mattress. She was job hunting, but marketing jobs were scarce during COVID. Plus, she'd been furloughed for 9 months. Skills had atrophied. Money was tight. She had her car, worth about $8,000, and $4,000 in savings from the split. Couldn't afford an apartment. Applied desperately for retail jobs just to survive. Then came December 10th. Jennifer's mom, Linda, called me, first time since Thanksgiving. Robert, I need to ask you something. Did you have to destroy her like this? She destroyed our marriage. I just told the truth. The truth, yes, but on Thanksgiving, in front of everyone, Linda was crying. She's not okay, Robert. She paused. Tried to what? She called me last night, said she didn't want to live anymore. I had to call her friend to check on her. My stomach dropped. Suicide ideation. I hadn't expected that. I'm not excusing what she did, Linda continued, but you took everything from her family, her church, her dignity. Was that necessary? I got defensive. Sar, she took everything from me while I was saving lives. I know, but you're still alive. She's barely surviving. I'm asking you as a mother, was it worth it? The call ended. I was shaken. I talked to my therapist. Did I go too far? You exposed the truth. Her consequences are her responsibility. But do you feel good about how it went down? Honest answer. No, I feel empty. I thought I'd feel vindicated. I just feel tired. I couldn't sleep that night. Kept thinking about Jennifer's suicide mention, Linda's question. I talked to Sarah at the hospital. She cheated on you during the worst time of your life. She deserved consequences. But Sarah added, just make sure you're healing, not just hurting her. December 13th, I went to church. Saw Jennifer in the back row. She looked terrible. 15 pounds thinner, hollow eyes, no makeup. She was with a church counselor, part of her restoration. We made eye contact, her eyes filled with tears. She mouthed, I'm sorry. I nodded, looked away. After service, she waited outside, approached me. Can we talk? Just 5 minutes? No, we have nothing to say. I know I can't fix this, but I need you to know. I never meant to hurt you like this. I was selfish and weak, and I hate myself for it. You should hate yourself, but I'm done carrying your guilt. I know, I hope one day you can forgive me. Not for me, for you. I walked away, but her words echoed, for you. I realized something over the next few weeks. My revenge had ripple effects I hadn't anticipated. Jennifer's parents were separating. The stress from the scandal, the blame they put on each other for how Jennifer turned out, it broke them. Her sister Amy's relationship with their family was strained because she tried to stay neutral initially. A mutual friend texted me, "Look, what Jennifer did was horrible, but Amy's family is destroyed. Sisters don't talk. Parents are divorcing. Your revenge broke more than just Jennifer." I hadn't thought about that. My thermonuclear approach had collateral damage. December 20th, I was sitting alone in my childhood bedroom at my parents' house. I'd won. The house was mine. The moral high ground was mine. Everyone supported me, but I didn't feel victorious. I felt exhausted, hollow, older. Linda's question haunted me. Was it worth it? Jennifer was suffering, yes, but so was I. The revenge hadn't healed the wound, just spread the pain. I realized something. While I was saving lives, she was ending ours. But destroying her didn't save me either. Christmas Eve, I worked a shift by choice, avoiding family Christmas. COVID cases were dropping slightly. Hospital was quieter. I sat in the break room at 2 a.m. eating a vending machine sandwich. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Just so you know, Jennifer is okay. She's in therapy. She moved to her aunt's house in Atlanta. She asked me to tell you she's sorry and she'll stay out of your life." I didn't respond. Deleted the text. But something shifted. I realized the revenge was over. The consequences had been dealt. Now came the harder part, figuring out who I was after all this. Revenge was easy. Healing was going to be the real work. January 2021, New Year. I moved back into the house, first time alone there since November. It felt weird being in our space. I removed all photos of Jennifer, donated her remaining belongings. Small changes, new couch, repainted the bedroom, symbolic fresh start. The hospital was better. Vaccines were rolling out. My schedule dropped to 50-hour weeks. Normal-ish. I started real therapy. Weekly sessions with Dr. Martinez, who specialized in healthcare workers with PTSD. First session, I need help with COVID trauma. Also, I destroyed my ex-wife's life and I don't know if I was right. Dr. Martinez asked, "Do you regret exposing her?" No, she deserved consequences, but I regret how. I could have told her family privately. I didn't need to humiliate her. I realized my revenge was about power, taking back control after feeling powerless during COVID. But I also realized Jennifer's betrayal broke me in ways that had nothing to do with her. I was already traumatized from 9 months of watching people die. Both hurts were real. Both needed healing. February 2021, I started reconnecting with life, joined a gym, started running, picked up my guitar again, hadn't played in years, started cooking, realized I'd stopped doing things for myself somewhere along the way. March 2021, the divorce finalized, 90 days after filing. Jennifer didn't contest anything, signed papers through her attorney. I got the official documents, sat with them for an hour, felt nothing, called Sarah. It's done. How do you feel? Free, but also sad. Does that make sense? Completely. I started seeing friends again, dinner with hospital colleagues, laughed for the first time in months, joined a support group for healthcare workers processing COVID trauma, met others, doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, all carrying similar pain. One nurse, Amanda, was 32. Her boyfriend had left her because she was too depressed about work. We bonded over that. She got it. We started getting coffee after meetings, then movies, nothing romantic yet, both too raw. But there was something there. By summer, I still had bad days. Woke up angry sometimes about what Jennifer took from me. Dr. Martinez had me write a letter to Jennifer. Don't send it, just write. I wrote pages, anger, betrayal, but also I miss the woman I thought you were. I realized I wasn't mourning Jennifer. I was mourning the illusion. We did a burning ceremony, symbolic, felt somewhat cathartic, but healing isn't linear. July 2021, I was at the grocery store, turned a corner, saw Jennifer. She was visiting Charleston, staying with her friend. We froze. She looked different, thinner but healthier somehow, shorter hair, less polished. Hi, Robert. Jennifer. Long pause. I won't bother you. I'm glad you're okay. I'm surviving. You? Same, I'm in therapy, trying to understand why I did what I did. Good. You should. I really am sorry. I know that doesn't matter now, but I am. I considered her. It does matter. Not for us, but for you. We parted. No drama. Just two people who destroyed each other. I felt something close to closure. Not quite, but less rage. August, I decided to train for ER charge nurse, using my COVID experience to improve healthcare systems. Started mentoring new nurses, found meaning in it. I can't change what happened to me, but I can help others survive what I survived. Amanda and I started dating officially, casually. It felt different from Jennifer. Honest communication, shared trauma, no games. I told Dr. Martinez, I don't know if this will last, but it feels healthy. That's new. November 26th, 2021, Thanksgiving, 1 year after the Zoom. I was invited to my parents' hospital Friendsgiving and Amanda's family. I chose hospital Friendsgiving with Sarah and Dr. Patel. Dr. Patel raised a glass to surviving the impossible, both the virus and life. I thought about a year ago, rock bottom, betrayed, vindictive, broken, now still healing, but lighter, had friends, a job I was good at, possibility of love again, not perfect. Still had nightmares, still went to therapy, still had anger days, but I was rebuilding. I drove home at 9 p.m., stopped at a red light, looked at the passenger seat, empty. A year ago, Jennifer sat there. 5 years before that, she sat there every day. Now it was just me, but I didn't feel alone. I felt free. Texted Amanda, had a good night, want to grab breakfast tomorrow? She replied, yes. Where? I smiled. I know a place. Drove home, parked in the garage, sat in my car looking at stars. I spent a year saving lives, then a year destroying one, then a year trying to save my own. Maybe that's the order it had to go in. Got out of the car, went inside, home. So that's my story. February 2022 now. Jennifer's in Atlanta still, working at a marketing agency, never remarried, not dating. Working on herself, someone told me. She reconciled with her mom, Linda. Relationship strained, but exists. Her dad, Tom, still won't speak to her. She left church entirely. Too painful. Exploring faith privately. Someone said she's quieter now, less concerned with appearances, sadder, but maybe more real. Me, I'm ER charge nurse, leading a team, using what COVID taught me to help others. Still in therapy. Once a month now, still processing. Amanda and I are serious. Moved in together in January. She understands me. We're both healing, building something honest. Jennifer's family. Tom still texts me occasionally on holidays. Cordial. He's trying. My family's supportive. Happy to see me happy. Church. I still go sometimes. Less invested than before. Faith shifted, but not lost. People ask if I regret it. Exposing her the way I did. I regret the timing. I regret doing it on Thanksgiving. I regret hurting people who didn't deserve it, her parents, her siblings. But do I regret making sure she faced consequences? No. She chose to betray me during the worst year of my life. She needed to understand that actions have weight. The nuance is this. Revenge didn't heal me. Therapy did. Time did. Building a new life did. If you're planning revenge, make sure you can live with who you become after. I won. But I also became harder, colder, less trusting. That's the price. I'm sitting in my house now, February 2022. Amanda's in the kitchen cooking. She asks, "You okay?" "Yeah. Just thinking about how different life is now." "Better." I pause. "Different. But I think better is coming." She smiles. "I'll take it." 2 years ago, I thought my life was over. It was. That life ended, but a new one started. Messier, harder, but more honest. So that's it. My wife cheated during quarantine while I risked my life as a nurse. I collected evidence for 6 months, then exposed her on Thanksgiving in front of her entire family. She lost everything: family, church, reputation, marriage. I won, but I also spent a year angry, vengeful, and hollow. I had to relearn how to be human. Was it worth it? I don't know. Ask me in another year, maybe 5. What I know is this. She took something from me I'll never get back: my ability to trust fully, to believe people when they say, "I love you." But I took something from her too: her foundation, her image, her place in the world. Even trade? No, nothing about betrayal is even. We both lost. She just lost more. I spent 2020 saving lives in a hospital. I spent late 2020 destroying a life at home. And I've spent 2021, 2022 trying to rebuild my own life from both. If there's a lesson, it's this: revenge won't save you. But sometimes it's the only way to stop someone from taking you down with them. I chose to walk away with everything: the house, the respect, the truth. But the hardest thing to walk away with was myself. I'm still working on that part.